I was 13, I think, when I first met him, and we were fans of each other's, and we just immediately hit it off. We laughed so hard. I wasn't trying to get a music career. I wasn't trying to get anything from him, and we just started hanging out. I think because we both grew up in the same business, and we had similar upbringings in the sense that we were, you know, we had to begin in this business at a very young age. We learned a sense of, we had defense mechanisms that we had built up, and I think once we met each other, we realized that we didn't really have to be wary of one another, and that enabled us to build a friendship on a very different level.
If you wanted to pick up the phone and call Michael Jackson, can you dial Pluto direct, or could you reach him like other Earthlings couldn't?
Beep, beep, beep. Yes, I could.
Now, let me, because you have been out on several dates with Mr. Jackson, is that right?
Michael and I have been friends for years.
And I was like the person that he would call because, you know, these other famous people would sort of really like prey on him and want to be like, I'm going to sleep with him because that's going to be a thing. I mean, people talked about his genius, but I don't think they didn't really know how polarized his sort of life was, insofar as he was extraordinarily a genius and talented, and there was an arrested development, I believe, and he was sort of truncated emotionally as a little kid. And
he was a child?
He was childlike, but in many ways. And we were kids together. I think that there was an arrested development to a certain extent with him in that way, but we acted like little kids together. And I don't think either one of us in our lives really had the environment to do that safely.
I mean, he's a very soft sort of voice, and he always says, "Oh, Brooke, I'm sorry." I mean, he's always so happy to talk to you, and he wants to know what you're doing. But he's very actually there is no but. There's just a very genuine innocence that he has protected and sheltered himself from so much that's been maintained. He has an innocence about him that just enables him to revel in flowers and children and animals. And he's just, I mean, he talks about his work a little bit, but he really just talks about things that make him happy. I mean, we have long discussions just about everything.
So he's quite a regular person then?
He really is, and he's, well, regular in the sense that, not regular in the sense that he's not jaded.
Yeah.
And I find that many people in this business have a tendency, it's easy to become jaded.
I mean, I remember saying this to him. He couldn't believe I was going to go to schools. He couldn't believe I was going to go to regular schools, that I was going to go away to college by myself, that I was going to then, when I told him I was getting married, he just didn't get it. He was like, you can't do that. And I said, I've got a chance. I said, I've been going out in the world. I'm not so isolated, and I want this chance. I want a chance to be quote unquote normal, you know, and he never really could trust a lot of people around him.
I want to know what the real deal is, Brooke, between the two of you. Was there romance going on? Were you all kind of romantically involved? Was there like ever an exchange of, you know, rings or anything, or?
Well, actually, I think right now, let me say that I believe that we're closer now than we ever were. I think we love each other more now than we even knew we did when we were younger.
Really?
We used to, well, because we had fun when we were younger. I mean, it was,
okay,
and we were sort of a source of relief.
This is a question. Did you have a crush on him, or did he have a crush on you?
I think we both had a crush, and still do have a crush on each other. I mean, I think part of having a crush on someone is admiring them. Mm-hmm. Almost, I mean, we have a lot of fun together, and I mean, it's almost unfortunate because we know each other so well. But, I mean, he amazes me every time I sit down and talk to him about something. He's so creative. I mean, he borders on genius. And I think that when you have that much talent, and you are at the same time that sensitive a person.
Do the unfortunate, nasty comments and criticisms about him, do they upset you? Make you angry?
They upset me constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly upset by what people say. I mean, first of all, so many people really don't know him, and they don't give him a chance, and they're so ready to criticize. And I think what happens is when you see genius, and when you see a talent that is just unstoppable and untouchable,
the first reaction people have is to criticize it because it scares them, it threatens them, and it sort of, in order to augment their own self-worth, they feel that they have to belittle him. And you know, he's a sensitive human being who, you know, all of the negativity really, it does affect him and it hurts him.
You know, he just always wanted to be the absolute best, most superior performer that ever lived.
Throughout, he was the first person to call me when my dad got sick.
Wow.
When I had postpartum, he sent me flowers and, you know, all of these things, even though we sort of hadn't had our regular dinners that we used to have on a more regular basis. But he was consistent.
Right.
I'm not going to be invited. I never liked the dad never liked me.
Why
and
not?
He's not a human being. He's the devil. You never liked me. You never even pretended to like me. I never liked you. You always were mean. And I said, you know what? You know what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to thank you for your son.